social determinant screeners across healthcare providers. So for you, rather than just like asking people if they need food or not, if you want to really kind of drill down and use something that's been validated, and this is validated in families with children, and then just like 2 weeks ago, Gunderson and some other people that I know came out and did that screener in just the general adult population. So it's been validated in both of those populations. So I would really recommend that in order to appropriately identify individuals if they are food insecurity is at risk in the household, I really recommend using these 2 screening questions. It's not a huge difference from whatever, I think you're currently, just ask people if they need food, is that right? I don't know what it was on your paper. Anyway, so the reason that we ask that is because now in the ICD-10 codes, there's actually some documentation that you can use when it comes to food insecurity screening. This first one is that the screening occurred, the second one was that there's a positive screen. So, so say you're doing that, and you guys are going to do this at the West Side Children's. Is that what I'm gathering? Okay. So say for example, you meet with a family, you screen them for food insecurity. Somehow it's documented someplace. I don't know where. If it's either in Pantry Trak or if it's in your food bank tracker, that's still kind of to be worked out still. Now what? Now you know that, and now you need to get them connected with food. And so I am going to pass it off to James at this point to give a little bit of background on Pantry Trak and the benefits of it and how we make these referrals.
So I guess some of you have seen Pantry Trak, some of you haven't. Basically, like Amy said, when you walked into a food pantry before, you always have to fill out the TFAP, ODGFS, the Emergency Feeding Food Assistance Program to document that service. Pantry Trak comes along and says, get rid of this, use a computer. Not only can we make this process quicker and easier by using that computer, but we also arrive at our unduplicated count. So before we were all keep track of it on paper, Amy goes to Champion Pantry, and then she goes to Kroger Pantry, and we have basically an account of her. So when we total up all these statistics, we count her twice because we have this instance of her over here, we have this instance of her at another pantry, and the 2 pantries aren't talking to each other in terms of aggregating those statistics. So kind of a big thing in food banking world. As far as how Pantry Trak works, I actually need you guys to get me back signed in here because it did that fun log out thing. Yeah, we'll just run through here. So this is our demo system. It has a lot of fun names like Kim Kardashian and Minnie Mouse, but pretty simple as far as. No, it's all right. I'll just use this one. And definitely not a sexy new iPhone app. Looks pretty basic, but again, it gets the job done. And the data is the most important thing if you guys don't already hear that on a daily basis. So depending on what you guys are doing, so there'll be a referral here, and go up and look for somebody by name. And a bunch of families come up here. Depending on what their address is, we can obviously narrow it from there since we have a lot of people with the last name of Mouse in our system. So in this case, we're going to go with Whole Streets. We've changed our search criteria here. All right, so we'll stick with this one. Holy Drive, Sherman Briscoe. And so, once you found in the system here, depending on if you guys are ambitious and want to kind of help us in keeping the data current, so if they've updated their address, that's great. If there are different members of the family that doesn't exist on here, also appreciate it. But probably the most important thing for you here is to click on this referrals tab. And from here, basically you're just going to set up where they're going to be going. So in the demo system, not a lot of information, but if it's going to be, in this case, it's going to be produce, and actually, because the demo system does show the mileage, but the mileage actually is based on the original address they start with. So that's unfortunately one drawback. So if you did update the address, it would tell you in terms of that particular location what it would be to their house. So useful for them, whether it's 2 miles or 10. We'll get to that shortly here. But just so we're going to choose produce, and we can choose it for today. We'll choose it for tomorrow. They're saying they're coming in at 5 o'clock, and we know they're allergic to kale. And from here, yeah. So the other thing we're going to probably add to this is the address of the site they're actually visiting, because that would probably be useful for it, because it has this handy print button, but why are you going to print out a sheet that doesn't really give you that kind of information? But yeah, as far as the referral process goes, it's pretty simple. Like I said, as far as searching for families.
Hey, do you want to take them through kind of how many of you guys have computers? A lot of them? A lot of you guys have computers with them? Yeah. Can you do an actual have them log in and
Yeah.
run through kind of how to do a referral?
Yeah. So let's do.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm always one of those I have to do it in order to understand what the heck I'm doing. So if you don't have a computer, get by somebody that does have a computer.
So let's do this. So go to demo.pantrytrak.com. Your username is going to be demo at Compass, and your password will be MI770 or O, Katie.
Could you read that?
Yes, absolutely. The only thing that sticks about trying to say everybody do the same thing is, so when everybody clicks on the same thing, we all put this thing that says, oh, you want to go and visit for that person. So,
We can have them do different.
yeah, you want to do different ones.
Just people.
All right, so,
Did you guys get in? Logged in? All that good stuff? Wait. I hear some weights.
Yeah.
So are all you guys going to be going to the west side to do these screening and referrals? Only a few. Okay. You want to get it? Oh yeah, it's right here too. Just use this. Is everybody in? Everybody logged in now? Everybody logged in? Okay. If you see slide number 2, or I don't know if it's slide number 2, but whatever, bullet point 2 on here, whatever the slide is, it's on page 5. That has that whole log into Pantry Trak scenario. Is that under?
yeah.
So it says click on produce first to get started, but that's not really what we need to do.
Actually, I mean, they're all going to take you. So it doesn't matter which one of these yellow buttons you click on. They all take you to the same place in terms of searching. The end events will be a little different, so you all kind of, I guess, click on referrals for that reason.
So one of the things about this is a demo account, so there's a lot of different like options here, but when you log on with a real Encompass account, you'll just have Produce RX. That'll be like the only option that they have, right? I don't think they're gonna have snap referrals or stuff like that. So you'll only see like one button when you actually log on to your real account when you have a login beyond the demo. So for right now, it's just like, just pretend referral says Produce RX.
Basically, the difference between these things is, so if I were to click toys instead of referrals, you know, the next screen looks the same, and even the screen after that looks pretty similar, but the end results will be different as far as, you know, completing that service. So instead of, you know, obviously document toys under toys, but this will actually produce a referral in the end system wherever I'm sending it. So feel free to click what you want, but if you want to follow along, go ahead and click referrals. And like I said, to find a family, it's pretty easy. You just need a couple letters of the last name, a couple letters of the first name. So George Washington can just be found with WAS, comma, Geo, and you get a ton of results. But like I said, this is our demo system, so if you just start typing a couple letters in, you're going to find a lot of stuff. Actually, if you follow along with my example exactly, it won't really work out. You're going to get a weird screen, so just find whatever name works for you.
Like look up like, I don't know, like Mick Jagger or whoever, Goofy, Donald Duck, you name it, and they're probably like in the system someplace. So everybody look up somebody different and we'll see what happens here.
We'll see if everybody looks up something different.
Yeah, see whatever, like Abraham Lincoln, they're all in there. Do you have Donald Trump in there?
No,
Sure we
I already
do.
looked.
Well, and that's, you know, we're going to learn how to put somebody in the system. So
That's
we can
actually a
make
good
it
example
homeless.
then, so we'll remember that. Michelle what? Oh, serious? Okay.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, when you can find somebody in the system, again, you can search by name, address, phone number. Don't worry about the alternate ID thing. Probably just name or address.
So can I ask here, like, okay, what's somebody's name that somebody picked out? Okay, so we've got Michelle Obama here. Who picked out somebody else that was like not Michelle Obama? Do you see like multiple entries for? So do you see multiple entries for Michelle Obama, or is there just like one Michelle Obama? Who has somebody that has like multiple entries below their name? You know what I mean? Like here we have Jaw Bar, and then we have Barbara Johnson and Batman Johnson. Somebody else have any kind of like multiple entries with whoever you typed in? Okay, who did you type?
I just typed in the word row.
What was it?
R-O-E. My friend's last name.
R-O-E? Okay, and did you get like
I had
10
two.
options or whatever?
I only have two.
Okay, that's fine. All right, that's fine. I'm just trying to make them look. It's like there's lots of different people.
Okay, so what Amy's trying to say is basically because, so any database, just as if you guys didn't know this already, when you get in the job world, work with databases, always have duplicates. Always have duplicates. Especially those that, you know, we're mostly working on, because we make mistakes, all those kinds of things. So don't be surprised if you go to look up a family and find a family in Pantry Trak and you see them like 3 or 4 times.
Or it could be like, it could be like Joe Smith, and there's like 500 Joe Smiths that live in Columbus. They're actually not duplicates, but they're just like literally different families.
Sure.
So.
And it does max out. So yeah, depending on how much search criteria, so think of the search like a funnel. So the more broad results I give it, you know, the wider the search is. So it maxes out 150. I need to give it a little more information. So I'm going to say MI. That'll be enough. Okay, so based on MI, that, you know, takes us down to 6 families. If I type in more of this, I get a red screen, and then it kind of gets sassy if I start typing more to say that your previous search was return no results. You know, if you keep typing. So the thing is, when you can't find somebody in here, typing more information doesn't help it. Basically, you know, you're getting more narrow as you go. You only, you know, if you start off broad, then narrow it, but you're not going to find the person by giving you more information like that necessarily.
I think the important thing is that if you do have multiple, if you do have like multiple options is to like really look at the options to make sure that the person is in there. They might just be in there, like, you just might have to like scroll down a couple of lines to find them, if they're in there, rather than like adding an additional like Joe Smith or whatever, just kind of like make sure that you look for there.
And again, too, so let's just,
Yeah, you only get one address.
so, if you search by address, you actually don't even have to enter in the number. If you just enter in the name of the street, this might be too much, but it's not. So I enter in spring, I get all these different results for spring. Same is true with the number. If I enter in, obviously, 2546, I'm going to get anything that falls under that criteria as well. I don't know how this is going to work out for you guys, too. If you're going to end up seeing the same people twice, is that a possibility?
There've been a couple people.
So that, this right here just basically said if you did see this person before, so you can kind of recognize like the last time that you, so this is obviously, because it's for the pantries to tell them, this is the last time I served the person, this little goofy icon is the thing that I served them, which is a cart full of groceries, you have our produce service, you have all manner of things, money, maybe we moved them, I'm not sure what the truck means. But, so your basic information here, so when you get into the kind of what Amy was talking about with the duplicates, and I hate to dwell on this too much, but it might be worthwhile. Comparing folks is pretty easy too, so I've got a couple of different WASGEOs in here, so I'm going to click on, I don't know which one it is, but if I start to hover over this thing, it pops open, but it doesn't stay. But if I click the blue eye, I can kind of get this quick snapshot of the family here to say, here's everybody who got in the family, here's ad service with those kinds of things. But again, if you're trying to figure out if it's the right family, the right person, those kinds of things, and they give you your birth date, and it's in the system, that's how to quickly see it. But once you have made your selection, and we're going to go with Bob Jones, who lives with Gregory Washington, and that'll make sense shortly here. So again, if you want to update the information, for family seeking food assistance, the basic things that they have to require are just their name, how many are in their family, address, and that's pretty much it. Then we move them over to the e-signature form. If this was a pantry visit, that's kind of what that looks like. But for you guys, you're going to be going to referrals instead. And kind of like I did before, just kind of pick which you're giving them, which, I don't know how many sites would be.
There's 13 sites. Yeah, there's 13 sites that you guys will be connected to, 13 different food pantries that are providing produce. You'll see all of those options, and it should, did you tell them about the distance thing, or?
Yeah, so I was saying like the mileage, like I said, so again, if you're with somebody and you say, Bob, are you still living at, if for some reason, because I'm so used to training with pantries and they have to ask this question, or they're supposed to ask this question, are you still living at this address? If for some reason that comes up in the conversation, again, it's going to give you the mileage based on the address that you start with. If you happen to update it, unfortunately, it doesn't give you, it doesn't geocode in real time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We are looking into doing that as well, but just so you know that, again, if you happen to update their address, you say, oh, this is really close now. It might not be so close if they move somewhere
So
far from
James,
last
can you go back to the referrals tab
Yeah.
then? So say you find Bob Jones. So what he's talking about there is in this distance column here, what that does is it tells you the distance of the food pantry from the house, from the address that they have listed. Just to help out with like figuring out what's the closest to them.
Pull up the system shortly. So again, just pick wherever location, wherever. And this, obviously we don't have locations or different services here, but I'll just go ahead and pick the first one. And I think it's pretty intuitive from there on out as far as picking your date and your time. You can go, I believe, 30 days out, a month or so, 2 months. So 2 months out. The time doesn't matter so much. So the downside of this, unfortunately, is that, and you kind of have to tell folks this, that they don't get to go to the front of the line just because they have an appointment. Depending on what it's like, they might get served right away. But my recommendation would be, depending on what time the place opens, there's usually a line before they open. They may not want to get there until maybe an hour or so after things are kind of underway. Maybe that initial rush will clear.
Yeah, just because a person has a produce prescription does not mean that they get priority treatment at a food pantry. So it's important for you all when you're screening that you tell that to people, that they still have to, when they get to the food pantry, that they still, now some food pantries will have like